maintain your youthful glow.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I know you guys are like, where was the brunch bunch all last week? Well, guess where we were, right? Adam's back in the background, disturbing the peace behind me, and definitely we missed you. But we were at the DNC, and I did not have this other camera, so of course, hey, Rick. I didn't. Hey, DJ Bilo, 2020. What's up? I didn't have this other camera in order to go live on Facebook, so I was only on Instagram. So it's a really good idea for those of you who have Facebook to also have Instagram. Hey, Rick, I love you.
Facebook already owns Instagram, so might as well.
You might as well just put it on the same time, because I missed. I missed staying in your lane last week, Bettina, all of our regulars, but definitely every day I pray for you guys. Anyway, the DNC was live. What's up, Carla Skiwi? Y'all don't know about the greatest sorority in the world. Huh? You know a little bit? No. Game on. I don't know how that stuff gets there. Anyway, so literally, like, I was so zonked out with the DNC. No, seriously, Sunday I had to sleep the whole day.
On Friday, I think I went home.
Life is full of uncertainties, but your family's future does not have to be.
As soon as I got
With
home,
life insurance and investments, you can secure.
I understand. I totally understand.
I think that's what I got from.
So Tanya, Inglewood Tanya, of course, decided that we were going to fast, spiritually fast on Sunday. It was the best day to fast ever because I didn't wake up till 1:30. 1:30. I have never awakened at 1:30. What's up, Roland Jr.?
Yeah, I never wanted a Illuminati deep dish pizza more.
Oh, so you were having cravings.
Oh,
okay. Great.
Might as well have been pregnant.
You might be.
No, right? It's 2024. You never know.
You never know. Like Marcel said, if you can have a sex change, you can have a race change, you can get pregnant.
I can get pregnant. I could be.
I'm
the
listen,
president.
it's kooky up in here today, right? But you know what? It's all in fun.
I'm still tired.
No, seriously, that DNC was amazing. We were just talking in the hallway. Adam and I, we were talking in the hallway. The DNC was amazing. So many speeches that really just rejuvenated the hope, the joy that America was missing. Michelle, do something. Everybody is talking about how Michelle killed it. She killed it.
10 seconds.
This Mingling Minute
I
is
should do
brought
this
to you
one.
by Pier 31 Restaurant.
2.
We're in the raw. Tamara Fair on the Brunch Bunch.
So everyone is still on the aftermath, and I mean on a high from the DNC that was hosted in Chicago last week, Monday through Thursday. I have got to give it up for Mayor Brandon Johnson and everybody on his team that really did a great job blocking off where the DNC dignitaries were, because safety first, you had every one of the Democrats that are in leadership that lead us across the world in one area, and the primary goal was to keep them safe. I think we did an amazing job, which shows that we can host effectively a major events like that. Now, the other thing is that I have to give credit to is we didn't do it ahead of time where it was real inconvenient for Chicagoans to maneuver around. Now, the people that were trying to get downtown and get to their businesses, they had some complaints about it. But by and large, the balance of the city, it was fantastic. Not only that, I haven't seen this before in Chicago. I saw it in DC when I went to the inauguration for Barack's first president win, right? Everybody, it was 5 million people that descended on DC, and all of the law enforcement, all of the security guard, all of the volunteers were super nice. It was like somebody said to them or prepped them, trained them that these are our people, and we have to treat them with kindness and respect. Even if we have to, if it's a tough situation, we still have to treat them with kindness and respect. When we went into the McCormick place where we did the podcast and the vending, the dogs were very unassuming. They weren't invasive. They just came, sniffed you. If you had something, they will pull you to the side very respectfully. So we're going to start this segment out in appreciation for Chicago and everyone that took part in it.
I felt safe and secure the whole time. That was my biggest worry going into it, was not feeling safe. But I think the reason that change of attitude, because I feel like Chicago cops get a bad rap a lot of the time because, they are.
Some of it is warranted.
Some of it's it is warranted for sure.
On Jesus, some of it is warranted.
Absolutely. I think because the Secret Service was in that detail as well, it brought another level of professionalism.
Didn't think about that, Adam. You were right.
Yeah, and they want to impress the government. It's the government's officials, government. Just Secret Service. I feel
it's a higher level of government.
Great job.
Yeah, they did. And you know what? When we came in, they were very complimentary. Yep. They were really tone setters, if you will.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of tone setters, if you want to, we're going to switch lanes for a minute. Thank you for that signal. Y'all ready to go? We're going left. And that's not intentional. So after the DNC, I think everybody can agree that Michelle Obama stood out among all of those dynamic speakers. And of course,
Trump's coming for that black
job, right? So Trump lashes out as DNC attacks throw him off message, right? Mm-hmm. So of course, everybody, when you're in a race, and this is a dogfight, I don't want anybody to think that because the DNC and all those eloquent speeches were great and people got reinvigorated, I don't want you to think that this is not
Ali and Frazier.
Man, Russia and the U.S. They not playing. I'm talking about the landmines are about to be set off, and this is going to be a dogfight. But I was very interested during the entire DNC as to how Trump would react. Well, I don't have to be interested anymore. He has reacted.
Tell me.
So Donald Trump isn't in Chicago. He wasn't in Chicago, but his presence hangs over everything, and he is clearly following all of the events that went on here. So ahead of Kamala Harris's speech on Thursday, a couple of Trump's aides told the writer of this article a little implausibly that the former president is not tuning into the DNC convention because he had no interest in watching a Democratic Party infomercial.
Oh,
now, let me say this. If you think for 1 second that Donald Trump did not tune into the DNC, you think
he had his popcorn, his ice cream, his feet kicked up.
Dude, not only that, you probably think that the sun don't shine, like literally when the clouds are out. But one senior campaign official confirms anonymously that Trump was watching and was irritated by the attacks against him. I don't remember anybody saying anything that wasn't factual or fact-checkable. But I could be wrong. Well, in the view of one ally who spoke to the former president every week, Trump wins in November if he sticks to talking about the economy, the border, and crime. Somebody please tell me, how does a criminal talk about crime? And
he knows best.
He does know best, but I mean, you're a criminal. You still have to be accountable for your crimes. Well, at the start of the week, that looked impossible. So Trump scheduled a string of rallies in Pennsylvania, Michigan, North Carolina, and Arizona. Each was themed to focus on exactly what political and economic topics that were aforementioned. But with night after night of anti-Trump speeches here in Chicago during the DNC, staying on message was gone out the window, and it's not what his supporters told him to do, and nor did they want him to do it anyway. So Kamala Harris's speech pledges new way forward in a historic convention of speech. Oh, yeah. Now, everybody is applauding her for the way that she outlined it. She broke it down for a 5-year-old America's future. She talked about Gaza and other takeaways from Harris's address. He talked about that. Yeah. And they verified and fact-checked all of her through the BBC. But the North Carolina event on Wednesday was vintage Trump, and it became a referendum on his own team strategy. They always say, sir, please stick to policy. Don't get personal. And yet, the Democrats are getting personal, and all night long is what he said. They were talking about him. Do I still have to stick to policy? Trump asked. And then he polled the crowd. And more policy or go to, asked them, do I go policy or do I go personal? Well, his fans roared, and they wanted Trump to show not a list of boring economic proposals. My advisors are fired, he joked. Listen, Trump, this is not The Apprentice? You're fired?
The Apprentice, yep.
Yeah, this is not that, okay? Well, this ain't the show. This is real America. And then he said he'd stick to policy, but couldn't let the attacks go unanswered. Well, we knew you weren't going to let them go unanswered.
Yeah.
So the campaign strategy now seems to be at the whim of the candidate and the feedback of his crowd. Well, that makes life a little bit difficult for his campaign advisors, who repeatedly tell him that their single biggest concern in this election campaign is whether they can keep Trump's focus on issues and off the controversial attacks.
He does seem to lately, because like last 4 years when he was president, he seemed a lot more focused. Now this upcoming, he seems a lot less focused, and like
that's because he's reacting to the DNC speeches.
Yes.
So late Wednesday night last week, Trump took to social media. That's never a good thing.
Nope.
To criticize the Democratic Pennsylvania governor Josh Shapiro, who had given a rousing speech earlier in the evening, and Trump clearly did not like what he heard. The highly overrated Jewish governor of the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, has made a really bad and poorly delivered speech. I don't know if you really don't want to mess with the Jewish community, Trump. I mean, they're small, but they're mighty. Come on now. I have done more for Israel than any president. Shapiro has done nothing for Israel and never will. The fact that he singled out Mr. Shapiro as Jewish has not gone unnoticed. It was picked up on the U.S. morning shows as an example of a racial dog whistle. Now, if you can remember, all of the people who have come out against the Jewish community either are no longer in the business that they were in when they were with the Jewish community, Arsenio Hall,
or just not doing better.
What's his other name? Oh, yeah, that's Kanye West.
Kanye West, man. Oh, man.
Okay, I don't know, but sometimes you just gotta take
like
one for the
man.
yeah. Sometimes you gotta look at other people's mistakes and not make no mistakes. I mean, I'm just saying. But did you see Barack Hussein Obama last night? Trump said he was taking shots at your president, and so was Michelle. It's true, and they did get really personal, and they did take shots at him. But the use of Mr. Obama's middle name has long been used to stoke racial animosity towards him, and usually it's coming straight from Trump's mouth. Well, the problem for Trump's team is that their candidate thrives on controversy, which then dominates headlines, and this distracts from the attempts to point out weaknesses in his opponent's policy. And it doesn't matter when he talks about for 45 minutes, one advisor told the press on the condition of anonymity. One comment or answer to the question gives the left all they need to change the subject. Trump is a reactionary. Now, he's a Gemini. I'm a Gemini, of course. Jarrell is a Gemini.
So he's got multiple personalities.
He does have multiple personalities, but look, you got to be presidential in this situation. You got a lot of things working against you, right? So the things that work for you, highlight those, dismiss the others, and stick to the agenda. Policy is really going to be important in this election because everyone wants to know, how do we move forward effectively, and how are we coaching America to fidelity around the world?
And you actually, on Friday, this was off air, we talked about this, you did give me that, all right, if it comes down to the Kamala Trump, I thought about this all weekend.
Are you serious?
I swear to you. Because I just straight up told to you with full transparency, I said I'm going to pick Trump. But then that made me this weekend break down and like listen to interviews, watch interviews of both of them, so I could be more informed. Because when people ask me, I feel like I'm not too informed on any of this. But from what
you had to turn your head to the back. And this is how important this is.
And like what I was saying about the focus of Trump, it just doesn't seem like mentally he's all the way there like he was 4 years ago either. He seemed like he's losing it a little bit.
He's 4 years older. I'm just saying.
Exactly. He's 4 years older, but I'm just saying he just doesn't seem, he's always repeating the same things over and over again.
That's what people in their late 70s do.
Yes, and he can never stick to one subject, and he always has to bring it back to what he remembers, what he knows. That's what I'm getting from him. So now I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I said Trump on Friday.
You did. You were emphatic about it.
Absolutely.
In fact, we continue the conversation even in the elevator, and I posed to you to consider, how do you want your communities to look? You're a young man. You're about to start a family. Absolutely. I mean, literally, you got to look at, how do you want your education? Do you want to have options, or do you want to have no options of putting your child in a school where books are being banned? Now, I can understand you banning marijuana, assault rifles, but books.
Marijuana.
I'm just saying.
No, I ain't banning none of that.
I went
None of that.
too soon.
Too far.
Way too far.
Nope, we
But
ain't banning none of that.
I'm just saying that those are things
Yeah,
that are
I know.
issue-laden topics that people have a propensity to ban, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But books, what is the harm in a book?
Exactly. What's the harm in educating
What's
what
in-
actually happened instead of this whitewash history that our kids are getting?
But to the point of the conversation,
Yes.
which is excellent because you are a young man, and when you have children, but say you decide not to have children
Okay.
for a minute,
Let's hypothetically do
right?
that. Yep.
And you accidentally find yourself in a pregnant situation.
Yes.
Should your wife,
Mhm.
and I'm saying hypothetically,
No,
but
she's my
should
wife.
your wife have the option of holding it
Absolutely.
off, or is she forced to actually
Absolutely.
have the baby that she wasn't, or you all weren't ready for? Those are all things to
Yeah.
consider.
Mhm.
Now, then the other thing is when you stack the deck on the Supreme Court, and you don't stack it for the people, but you stack it for personal reasons.
Absolutely.
Those are things that you have to consider. Is this moving into a dictatorship, or do we still have the spirit of democracy in
Absolutely.
America?
Yeah, so I just wanted to publicly also just say I appreciate you for having that conversation because it really did make me want to delve deeper into the issues and get more informed. And clearly, that conversation really did have a big effect on me. And now, but I'm in the middle.
I feel so elated
I
about
don't know
this.
what I'm going to do now, though, because I don't want to vote for Kamala. I don't want to vote for Trump.
But that's
So-
okay. That's okay. As you continue to consider, as you continue to do the research,
Yes.
you may find a candidate that you are
Absolutely.
aligned with. But that's all my conversations are about. Find
Yes.
a candidate that can actually represent you statutorily and also represent you in the kind of manner that you want to be connected with around the globe, because everyone looks to the United States at the end.
Because another thing was that I was talking to you was I would want to go with RFK, but then he this weekend turned around and gave his percentage to Trump too. So
His 5%.
yeah. So
Yeah. And sometimes in a close race, 5% can be all that you want.
absolutely.
I mean, all that you
That you
need.
need.
But my concern and my charge to any voter:
Yes.
vote informatively. Don't just vote because you're familiar. Don't just vote because it seems like the right thing to do. Vote because you have researched it and you are an informed voter. Not because someone's going to hold you to the fire. Your vote is your vote, and it's personal to you. When
Let
you
me
come
ask you a
behind.
question then. But like, cause so informed, I'm more informed now than I was last Friday, and now I'm stuck in the middle. Like
That's okay. The
how-
middle is a good place
Is
because
it
you
though?
still got four months to get out the middle.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to vote today.
No,
But
you're right.
but every day, knowing you, every day
Yes.
you're gonna figure out something
Something
new
Yep.
to research. I'm not trying to sway you one way or another.
Mhm.
I am trying to convince you that
Inform me though too.
that information is
Yes.
necessary.
Absolutely.
And so when you try to hide information, like banning books, how can someone actually get the right
And be fully
information?
informed, yep.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So you know what? These conversations will keep going offline. So if you guys are not joining us on Facebook or Instagram, please
better.
do so. Tammy T Fair on Instagram, and of course, Brunch Bunch on
Brunch Bunch
Facebook.
1390.
Y'all keep it locked. This is Inspiration 1390. What's up, big guy? How you?
Real
Okay, come on with it. We're gonna play a little bit of this. And then what's going on?
That's all.
Oh, you want me to?
Oh, I thought you wanted
Yo, and it's been 2 weeks since I've been here. I just went this morning and got a SIM card for a different phone.
I think that
That's
would be a
crazy.
good thing for you coming off that.
I'm like, I need my phone number for the radio.
What's up, everybody? What's up? That's right, Product Snob. T Breezy. I'm taking your hugs. I'm giving them right back. Tell what you need to brand marijuana. It's terrible for the mind.
I don't know about that.
How money works. Yes.
Gifts for y'all.
This is beautiful publication.
No, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous right there.
Guess who? A 90-year-old National Federation. So you know it's all old white men saying this.
Of course. Make sure you say that.
Oh, you'll see.
Oh, man.
Hi, Reggie.
Oh,
Hi,
man.
Shy Beauty.
Nuts.
Hi, Product Snob. Rasol 75410. What's up? Thank you so
Product
much.
Snob is, staying in.
I know. I know. I told her, hey, Bettina. Hey, Cherise. But you have to vote for the best one, Adam, Cherise says, and she's right. And he's trying to figure out right now who is the best one. It is subjective, but it's subjective to not only your now, but your next.
Absolutely.
So if you're talking about a person who's going to be representing you in the highest office in the land, you got to make sure that those provisions hold true for the next 4 years, or that they're malleable and flexible enough to change. Flexibility, moldable. I love the way you did that.
I did that with the amalgamation, I believe. You said that right, amalgamation.
Amalgamated? Oh no,
It was all together.
aggregate.
No.
It was.
319-3319 for
Oh my God! I hope you wrote it down. So DJ Bilo says that you look good, but you want to know, you want to make sure. It's just like
New call your friends, pants is dropped. Call your friends, go get it. Call your friends, go. Call your friends. Call your
I
friends.
didn't either.
Oh my God.
I'm like, you dropping pants behind you? Oh, they really gonna go crazy. Oh, we didn't even say hi to you. Hi. What's up, Donna again? 78. Mother Wolf. What's that?
In my adult voting life, that I've actually had that type of conversation.
Attention entrepreneurs, it's your girl.
Really?
That's the
You know
first
what?
time.
Sometimes it's the messenger too. It's, if you respect the messenger, you receive the message a lot differently.
Yeah, if I didn't respect you, I wouldn't have gone home and done all that research.
Exactly.
Secure your brand's future
It's definitely the
today.
messenger
Call
because you'll
773
feel like
455
sometimes
0711.
you'll feel like, okay, this is an idiot. Why am I even listening? Or the opposite.
But also, I feel like the last few times, because I grew up in a family that's majority Republican, so I feel like all the information I get is biased.
To secure the brand.
So I don't feel like I'm getting biased information.
Hey guys, it's Tamara Fair
And Action Jackson.
from the Brunch Bunch.
I actually liked some in Trump's last administration. I actually liked some of his economic policies. He is a great businessman on certain levels. But when you bankrupt 14 companies, that doesn't really speak to me to great businessman. That means you have some great business ideas, but how you bring them to fruition may leave some room. No. I mean, when some of those bankrupt companies, look them up. When some of those bankrupt companies, the title of them alone was like, how did you even think this was going to actually fly? The title alone, the name of the business alone was really crazy to me. Like pigs flying or something like that. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you said 30 seconds, yeah.
So go ahead and call.
But I mean, like literally.
447-3344.
No, the hotels and casinos are actually, most of them are still viable. But he has bankrupt some of them. Hi, my niece. How are you, baby?
Now experience the promise of ultimate safety that they bring to your home. Call Stacy Chauncey.
Oh, no, that's my nephew. Hey, Mitch. What's
Mitch?
up, India? How was it?
447-3344. Where's the action, Jackson?
I'll tell you what's going on.
Hey, it's Adam filling in for Marcella Action Jackson. So what's going on is we're talking politics up in here, and I came across this headline and my jaw honestly dropped to the floor. So Republican group says Kamala can't be president because of this 170-year-old Supreme Court decision that likens her to be a slave.
Oh. I guess your mouth is not the only one that
I'm
dropped.
gonna let that breathe.
You gonna let it breathe? We're gonna marinate on that for a minute, Mika.
Likens to her to a slave.
Well, what happened? How can she be a slave when Trump said she's wasn't black 3 weeks ago?
So former President Donald Trump set the tone in his numerous attempts to disparage Vice President Kamala Harris to keep her from the White House this November. However, his allies have taken things a wildly racist step further. The 90-year-old National Federation of Republican Assemblies, I said 90 years old, probably a bunch of old white guys, cited the 1857 Dred Scott Supreme Court decision to state Harris cannot run for president per the Constitution of the United States, according to the Independent. A reminder, Dred Scott v. Sanford declared that slaves were not U.S. citizens and thus not protected by the federal government. It's widely considered one of the most reviled decisions in the history of the Supreme Court. According to the platform and policy document, the NFRA, the way that the Constitution describes presidential requirements disqualifies Harris entirely. The group also questioned the validity of Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy running for president based on citizen requirements, which state that only natural-born citizens can hold the position. The documents argued that Harris, Haley, and Ramaswamy had parents who were not American citizens at the time of their birth. Problem is, the Dred Scott ruling was nothing to do with Harris, Haley, or Ramaswamy, and the NFRA cited it for no good reason except to maybe call Harris a slave. Is that maybe
or
wrong?
to put it in the minds of the people that she's disqualified because of Dred Scott. And whoever wrote that is exactly right, that it is one of the most vile decisions in American history because it deemed Black people as not humans but property.
Absolutely.
And so natural born citizens, were you not born in America? If you were born in America, according to the Constitution, irrespective of what your heritage is, if you were born on American soil, which Kamala was, you are an American citizen.
Absolutely.
The conversation comes about with if that American citizenship deems you as a full person.
Absolutely. So, but the answer to the question was the tactic of the NFRA served as just another excuse to endorse Trump, which the group officially did back in October. In a statement to The Independent, the group's president, Alex Johnson, I want you all to know that name, Alex Johnson, the president of the NFRA, said this, doubled down on his attack to Harris. He said, "We firmly believe the faux Democrat, Miss Harris, should never hold office for any of the many reasons people choose to highlight, including her party's tactics on dividing people by race and class," kind of ironic for a Republican to be saying that, "which mirror those to have led nations like Venezuela, Cuba, and North Korea into totalitarian regimes," he says.
Well, if that holds true, then none of the senators, none of the Congress
Absolutely.
should be in those positions because Dred Scott prohibits them from even holding an office. And so you're reaching.
So crazy statements like this usually bites other people in the butt because they're not even thinking deeper into stuff like that.
Yeah, but you know what it does effectively? It riles
Makes them
up
look stupid.
that part, but it also riles up insurgents, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be an insurgence that creates something like January 6th, but it's insurgents in your mind. And so you start having little problems in small communities, and then it swells.
Well, I feel like now in this digital age, we have January 6th more than we even notice. I think there's social, digital January 6th happening every single day.
Very good point. And that is why, Adam, I'm so glad you brought that to light. That is why we have to be diligent, persistent, consistent about forming our own opinions based on facts. The facts are, she's a prosecutor. He's being prosecuted.
Yes.
That's the facts.
There it is.
So listen, y'all, not only does politics and money blend together, we're going to blend it together here on Inspiration 1390 because today is Money Mika's day, and we're going to talk about how you not only mentally level up, but how you financially level up, and that's when the magic starts to happen. So keep it locked right here on Inspiration 1390.
Ooh, y'all good. Oh, child. That's a deep one.
I know, right? Hi, Kyrie. How are you? Y'all, India, you did not tell me how it was. Hey, Chris, what's going on, y'all? I'm waving. Adam is otherwise occupied. So I have to do my own waving today, but I love it. Y'all, I get so excited on Mondays because Money Mondays they set the tone for the rest of the week. So you got the entire week to plan how you're going to lay out your finances, but you will have a plan, right? So, Mika, we are so excited to have you every single time you come. She gave us this wonderful How Money Works booklet, and it is done in excellence. So hopefully you all can get a copy of this because it outlines how you should start saving and investing. We're going to talk about a lot of that today. And how many minutes do we have on that song?
2.
1, and then we come in with her.
1.
Yep.
And so I see they didn't give you any notes, so I just kind of I want to focus kind of on life insurance a little bit today because we didn't get to that last time. And next month
we got to all of this last time.
Well,
income replacement.
This is new I just did this today.
Oh, the one that we did last time. We got to all of those.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Next month is life insurance awareness.
Okay. Life insurance awareness month. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, not GoFundMe
right,
awareness.
Exactly. Did that phone come on?
Can you guys on Instagram? I don't know if you can even do this on Facebook, but can you guys on Instagram?
Oh, okay.
I think it's got a charge.
Send those hearts up for me. I did it! I did it! Oh, that's so sweet.
That was your phone?
I'm pretty certain that's my. I've been looking for it.
That's been here for like 2 years.
Yeah. That's your phone?
I'm pretty certain that's my
Girl,
phone.
Everybody has been talking about that phone. You didn't
I
miss
have
the
been
phone?
looking. Yeah, well, it's my business phone, so I was on vacation, so no. I did not.
Girl, if you don't take that phone up out of here. But you know what? It does tell you how honest 1390 is.
That's true.
Because we left that phone. Everybody left that phone. Talking about, whose phone is this? They haven't even asked for it.
Yeah, that's my phone.
Yeah, but I'm ready.
5, 4, 3, 2.
You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. We have the pleasure, the honor, the distinct advice of not only one of our Brunch Bunch favorites, but also a financial guru. Welcome back, Miss Mika Saunders.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me back.
We are excited about it. Now, today we're talking about income replacement, term life insurance, and how practical it can be, and for what reasons that practicality is important. So let's get to it.
Let's get into it. So first of all, I just want to say next month is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So very fun month, right? I know life insurance is not fun for a lot of people.
It is when GoFundMe is the alternative.
That is very true. So
real.
So we like to make sure that we talk about it. We do not shy away from it. And life insurance is one of our specialties. And so all next month when I'm on, we'll be talking about life insurance. But I want to kick it out this month just by talking about the importance of it, because
we'll
sometimes
have a prelude.
Yes, you know, a little extra week so we can get prepared for next month. So just want to talk a little bit about life insurance and the importance of having it, and I got 10 reasons why people need life insurance. So we can kind of go into each.
I love the way you
reasons.
enumerate all the reasons.
I like to be organized a little bit. So the most important reason that we like to highlight is for income replacement. Okay, income replacement. So a lot of times we think life insurance is just about burial. It's just about when you die, making sure that you pay the funeral home and all of these things. But even more, the reason is for income replacement, because we have children, we have family members, we have a life that we live right now. And when we pass away, that life continues on. Right. And so when you have children, you want to make sure, or grandchildren even, you want to make sure that they're able to still maintain that lifestyle. And in order for them to do that, they need income. Right. Because when you pass away, your income dies with you in most cases, unless you have a passive business. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a job, a typical job, and you have money coming in, when you die, that money dies as well.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people that I know, very fluent people, say, well, you know what? I'm not getting any life insurance because it's not going to benefit me. It's going to benefit somebody, and I'm not going to be here to enjoy it. Now, that's a pessimistic attitude to me, because the only way that we're going to have generational wealth is that we start in this generation to prepare for the next generation to level up.
Yep. I 100% agree with that.
My financial advisor told me, I said to him, when I went into business, I was 20 years old. And so I said to him, and I was probably 22, how do other ethnicities prepare for wealth that can garner them 130 years? He said the number one way is life insurance.
Life insurance.
Yep.
Number one way is life insurance. And so, and in our community, right, we have to make sure that we understand that and we take advantage of that. But also when it comes to our community, since we got on that topic, right, if we had more life insurance, we would have less crime, we would have less poverty, we would have a lot of less negativity going on within our community. And so I think we just have to really prioritize life insurance when it comes to our financial setup. Even over, you know, of course we have to make money, but when it comes to making money, a lot of people tell us, oh, I don't make enough money, I can't afford life insurance. They think it's going to be a lot of money, but we like to say, hey, you get to rent money until you own the money. And so basically, let me rent $500,000 in life insurance by paying, let's say $50, $60 a month. Let me rent that money while I grow the money by way of investing and everything. So rent the money until you own the money.
Don't you find it dichotomous that you got phone insurance, but you don't got life insurance?
Oh, come on, talk about it. Car insurance also.
Some
no
people
life
don't,
insurance.
but they got phone insurance. Even the people that don't have car insurance, they got phone insurance. Because if they lose that phone, baby,
it's over.
It's over. They can Uber from the phone. They can't Uber from the car.
That's true. That is
Prioritize though.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, very, very important. Income replacement. So one thing that you want to take away from this segment is I need life insurance for income replacement. Okay. That's the most
I'm
important
glad you made
thing.
that number one.
Yeah, that's the most important. Number two, debt coverage. Okay. Debt coverage. We all have debt. We all have homes, maybe cars, any kind of debt that you have. All debt does not die when you die. Okay. And so when you pass away, that debt then passes on to other people that you're leaving behind. If you have
your heirs?
Yes, it passes on.
Are you really?
Yes.
People used to call me about some of my deceased family. I'm like, well, you try to collect from them because I can't do it.
Well, you can say that for sure. But if you leave behind like a spouse or children, or if you co-sign or someone co-sign with you.
But they have to be on that account, right? Like if I have a credit card account and I'm on that account.
No. So like if you're married and your spouse passes away, then some of that debt can go to your spouse. So if you have a husband or wife, all of that debt does not pass away.
Well, that happened with my mom, and evidently they listened to me. I was like, well, he's gone, and she's not on that account. And they haven't called back.
They ain't called back in.
No.
Yeah. So what happens then is it goes to the estate.
Okay.
And so now with that estate, you owe money from that estate. So if you did have life insurance, you would have to first pay off some of those accounts. So especially,
his kids got that.
like even student loans, people think that all of those always die. No, it depends on what type of loan it is. If it's a private loan, those do not always die with the person. We see it happen. And so, it just depends on the type of debt. So part of having enough life insurance is also taking into consideration how much debt you have, because we don't.
But not just when you die. You can use some of that liquid money that your life insurance is accumulating if you get so far out of it, and then you can use that. Am I correct?
That would be like a cash value policy.
Yep, a cash value.
That would be a cash value policy.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so number three, we got children's education, right? So for those of us who have children, those of us who have grandchildren, we want to make sure that they still are able to live the lifestyle that we want them to live. We want them to go to college. We want them to start the business. We want them to do all of these things that they wanted to do, whether we are here or not, right? And so we have to have the mindset of just because I pass away or someone passes away, our children are still living. And so now they shouldn't have to forego their goals and dreams just because now that income isn't coming in. Right. And so again, children's education is very important. So we have something called the dime method. Okay. And so when it comes to the dime method,
you said dime or dime?
Dime.
Like a coin.
Yep. Like a coin. And so the dime method helps you calculate how much life insurance you actually need. Okay. So the D is for death. Okay, that's going to be the 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. That's going to take care of your burial. The I is for income. That's income replacement. That's going to be if you make $100,000 a year, you times that by 10. So you need for the income replacement part at least $1 million, right? So that allows you to replace your income for 10 years. The M is going to be for the mortgage, okay, or the debt. The mortgage, any of the mortgage or debt, we kind of put that all in one, so we can make sure that if you pass away, guess what? Your house is paid off. Because what happens to a lot of couples is they have a mortgage and they pay it together, right? And then when one of them passes away, now they have to sell the home because they can't afford the mortgage anymore. So they can't keep the home. And so now they have to uproot their entire family because they don't have enough money coming in.
And they have to downsize.
Right? And then the E is the education, the children's education, to make sure that that's also calculated in there. So that's the total of that's a good estimate of how much life insurance you need by using the dime method.
That is awesome. So death, income, mortgage, and education.
Mortgage, and education. And that mortgage is also debt.
Okay. This is awesome, y'all. I hope you're writing this down because I'm telling you, Money Monday really creates how your Tuesday through Friday gonna go.
Come on, talk about it.
All right. So number 4, let's do it.
Number 4 is business protection. So I know we have people who are either business owners out there, or you have people who own a business and then they have a key man or a person in their business that keeps that business going. Right.
Mhm.
And so what we understand, especially if you're business partners, you want to have life insurance on the other business partner, because if that business partner has a financial interest in that business and they pass away, that can make your business completely collapse if you
Mm.
now have a financial
It's
issue
like
because they
in a
pass away.
restaurant, if you have a chef and the chef passes away, then you
Yes.
can't serve any more good
Exactly.
meals. It's hot dogs for the rest on the menu.
Exactly. And so you don't want your business to collapse. And so you want to use life insurance in that. That's called a key man policy as well.
Yes.
So for business protection is very important, and other reasons for businesses as well. But business protection is a reason why you might need life insurance as well.
If we have time, I want to go back to business, to the key man policy, but I definitely want to get through all 10.
Okay, cool. We'll go to the next one now, and we're rolling through these. We're already at 5. So one aspect about term insurance specifically is that it's affordable, right? And so a lot of people talked a little bit about this just a second ago about how much does it cost. Well, I had a policy before, and I was young. I didn't know what kind I needed, and so I had a policy, and I was paying $50 a month for $50,000 in coverage. I didn't know any better. I said, okay, $50,000, that's great. I don't have any kids or anything. When I learned about term insurance, I saw that I can get 5 times the amount of insurance. So I was able to get $250,000 for that same $50 as a 23-year-old, 26-year-old at that point, right? And so understanding that it's very affordable. You do not need a ton of money in most cases, depending on your age and your health, right? In most cases, you don't need a ton of money to get life insurance. And so life insurance can be very affordable. And I think that's the myth that a lot of people think, that it's going to be so expensive. And so they kind of just turn a blind eye to it. And so understand that it is affordable. It can be very affordable. Now, when you get older, as you have health issues come about, now you might get denied. You may have to pay more. It's very expensive once you get over 50. It does start to kind of increase. And so we say get it while you're young and healthy. If you're a parent on here, grandparent on here listening, you may have grandchildren. You may have children who you might need to have that conversation with to tell them this is what they need to do. I got life insurance when my grandmother passed away. And so I understood that, I see what's happening with her policy. I don't want that to happen. We had to figure it out. We had to pass the plate. And so understanding that she had life insurance on all of us. And when she passed away, we had to then get our own. That's when I learned at that point. So sometimes we need somebody else to tell us what we need to do.
I'm glad you said that. Get life insurance on your family members while they're young.
Yes.
My grandmother did that too. My grandmother was a life insurance person. But at that time, my grandmother's insurance person would come to the house and insure everybody in the house. And so my uncle passed away very young, and she had life insurance on him because otherwise it would have had to come out of her pocket. So she was able to afford his and my aunts. They both passed away before my grandmother. Yeah. And that was all about good planning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good planning. And oftentimes we fail to plan. Right? We don't plan. And oftentimes it's not our fault because we just don't know how to plan. Right? We don't know what to plan.
No excuse now for the people that are listening to us today.
If you listen to this every other Monday when I'm on talking about this and you haven't done anything, today is your reason to go ahead and do something.
That's right.
Make the phone call.
Like what Michelle said, go do something.
Do something. Yes. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna keep it going. Now we're kind of going into some points here that kind of hit on that dime method. So financial stability, understanding that again, when we look at I look at 2 parent households, but in many households we know it's only one parent. Right.
Yes.
And so being a single parent is not an excuse to not have life insurance. That cannot be the reason. Or sometimes people use it. Oh, if I pass away, my husband got it or my spouse got it. They think that they're going to be all good because maybe they're doing well financially. But when you pass away, you go away, even if you are a stay-at-home mom, even if you don't have a job, your spouse does all the work, you're a stay-at-home mom, that stay-at-home mom passes away. Guess what? Now dad has to go and get some help. He has to go and find somebody to help take care of the kids so he can continue to bring in that money. So you add value to your family. And so if you want that financial stability to stay, then life insurance is even important for you, even if you don't bring in income.
Well, you know what? When you said that, I thought about blended families where there's no blood tie. And if you do not plan for that through your life insurance policy and get your beneficiaries actually listed on there, then that spouse that was making that second parent household, the second of 2 parents, then they have the ability, not to say that they would, but they have the ability to walk away from those kids.
They do. They do. And that's sad, but you have to think about all of that.
Yes.
And when you plan,
you have to think about it now.
You got to think about it now. Like, even like when they do their trust, we're talking about like well, who would take care of your kids if you pass away? And then what if they pass away? And then what if they pass away? You have to go down like 3 levels to figure out who would it be. We don't want to think about that stuff, but we have to do this. And if you do it, all you have to do is really think about it one time, and you never have to think about it again. When you set it up, it's set up. Now just take that time, do what you have to do one time, so you never have to think about it
Provide
again.
oversight, though. You never know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
set it up. Check it out. So we're going through these very quickly. And you know what? They're not hard. They just have to be done.
Yeah. I like to keep things simple because I think when we complicate things, it really just pushes people away from actually getting it done. So, all right. Next point will be future financial goals. So, thinking about buying a home, thinking about your children buying a home, thinking about them starting a business, thinking about all of the financial goals that you may have, or your kids or your spouse may have in the future. You want to also incorporate that when you're thinking about life insurance. Now we're getting fancy. Okay. You want to think about those things because, again, all about income. You pass away, goes away. Now they're not able to go ahead and do those things. And so life insurance can help in that area as well.
So does this hold true for people who have businesses, online businesses as well? Like you have your influencers who, and even like your beauticians or your barbers that typically don't have a next level plan. Does life insurance bridge that gap?
Yeah, I think it's even more important for them because they would be more like self-employed.
Yes.
Right. And so without them, the money stops. Right. So if you are a self-employed, an influencer, hairstylist, barber, any of those things, you absolutely need to be following these tips because you are the money. You are the bag. Without you, it's gone.
You are the.
Yes, exactly.
You're the it.
So it's even more important for them.
Yes, good. I'm glad you said that.
All right, temporary coverage needs. So let's just say, you have a business venture or you make a big purchase and maybe it's an investment, maybe it's a 10-year investment. Temporary needs. Term life insurance is very good for these temporary situations that may happen because you might need an increase in coverage for 5 years or 10 years that's going to go away after that time period. So if you let's say you have an investment, let's say a business investment, let's say we buy a boat. Okay. And we have a 5-year agreement on this boat and this boat is worth $500,000. We may get a temporary life insurance policy on each other because we bought this boat together. It might just be for 5 years or 10 years, whatever that agreement is for. But temporary situations like that can make sure that our investment is covered as well.
That makes good sense.
Yep. You want to make sure you're doing that. And then estate planning, obviously, for any other needs, any estate planning, estate taxes. That's if you're making a lot of money, okay? Estate taxes, you may need to go ahead and get a policy as well. And then finally, supplementing other insurance policies or other insurance. You might need some additional coverage for that reason as well.
I'm glad you said supplemental insurance because a lot of people think AFLAC is supplemental insurance, but there's also umbrella insurance that's supplemental. And like you said, if you're at the estate planning level, which you can plan for an estate, it could be large or small. But if you're at the estate planning level, a umbrella insurance policy is definitely something to consider. Well, Mika, you have clearly laid this out with, and I said I wanted to go back to key man policy for businesses because we talked about on WTTW 2 weeks ago, last week, I can't remember, about how many Black businesses there are. And typically we focus on this community, our community, because we perish for lack of knowledge, right? Yes. And so we try to educate our community in an area that has not historically been educated. So we have about 161,000 Black businesses that are employee driven across the nation, right? But we have 3.1 million businesses across the nation that are one person. That's the key man. And if that key man, something happens to them, it also happens to the business. But if you have this key man policy, the business can continue, but you also have to have a second person in charge in that equation if we're effectively planning.
Yes, very important.
Yeah.
Especially even if you want your business to pass on to your children, right? If you are the person and you want that business to continue on, they still now have to find a new person to take the position and the role that you were playing. And so very crucial. And we've had a lot of clients who have done that, and luckily they are all still living. So
yes,
we haven't
thank
had
you,
to
Jesus.
kind of have any of those payouts.
But it's coming.
Eventually.
It's definitely coming. Yeah.
Inevitable.
I mean, unfortunately, it's a fact, we all have that assignment. But speaking of assignments, how do we get in touch with you?
Yes. So we have a phone number. Please go ahead and text money Text money to 815-277-6772. That's 815-277-6772. You can also go to my website, mikasaunders.com. That's MIKASAUNDERS.com. And then also, we always have our events. So we do have an event on September 4th. That's going to be our Wine and Wealth at our office, 1100 West Cermak Road on the 3rd floor. That is September 4th at 6:30 p.m. Come hang out with us at the Wine and Wealth.
Well, speaking of all of these wonderful events, we also have some other events that are going on. It's not as important. I won't say important. It's not as fabulous as drinking and getting wealthy, but certainly just as important. So attention to all the Chicago families. If you're a new mom and or if you're expecting, the Blue Door Neighborhood Center in Morgan Park has something special for you. Just join this Tuesday, that's tomorrow, August 27th from 4 to 7 for a unique event dedicated to breastfeeding awareness. Now, you might not want to go to Mika's event first and then go to the breastfeeding awareness. You want to do it in the opposite way. So the Blue Door is excited also to present a screening of the acclaimed documentary series Chocolate Milk, which explores the significance of breastfeeding within our community. Alongside the screening, they will host a resource fair packed with valuable information and support tailored to new mothers. Also, come and connect with experts, gain insight, and enjoy the supportive environment where families thrive together. And yes, complimentary dinner will be served. So bring your appetite so that you can effectively learn how to breastfeed your children. In the meantime, in between time, you know what? We hope that we did our job today, and that is to love you. Mika, you have done a fantastic job. I love the DIME acronym. Love it. But also, we always want to encourage you to keep Love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know, a perfect stranger, that you love them. Show someone that you do know how much you love them. Lead with love. Land on love. I love you, Adam.
I love you, Tammy.
Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you too. Up next is AC Green, and right after that is Pastor Patterson on the drive home. We do it all night long right here on Inspiration 1390. Y'all, stay optimistic. DJ Bilo, I love you too. Thank you guys for always tuning in. You definitely want to go to Mika's event. For all of you who were tuned in, engaged in the conversation online, we want you guys to always take advantage of these resources. We don't bring them to you just for entertainment. We bring them to you so that you can utilize them. There's not one person that comes on this show that we have not vetted and endorsed. So definitely go to her event. It's September the 4th. We will have all of her information on our social media platforms. That is Brunch Bunch on social media for Facebook as well as Instagram. And you can also see it on my story, Tammy T. Fair. If you go on my page and like me, I promise to love you back. In the meantime, have a great rest of the week. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
So let's not be preoccupied by how many people love us and how many people care about us. It's nice if people love you.